guys, today I'm going to talk a little about RAM mounts and how you can very easily mount virtually anything onto your bike. RAM mounts are a modular system. Basically, it all revolves around, no pun intended, these little balls. And these work as joints in conjunction with other parts, like these sockets. And they have a wide variety of brackets and mounts and just about anything you can think of. You can put computers, phones, tablets, radar detectors, fish finders, CBs, virtually anything. Pretty much anywhere you want. You can have screw down mounts, you can have clamp mounts, you can have suction cup mounts, you can have part replacement mounts, you can have all different kinds of parts in between, you can have dual splitting off, you can have racks, you can have shelves, whatever you want. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this piece here, which is going to fit on top of my clutch reservoir, and then I'm going to use this guy here, and then I'm going to use this guy here, which is a universal called an Xgrip. And it's called an Xgrip because it looks like an X and it's spring-loaded to grip your phone. So you put your phone in there and it grips the sides, and you can put it anywhere you want. This piece in between is spring-loaded. It stays put wherever you want. Pretty much just like adjusting a GoPro. You know, you can connect all different kinds of connectors with GoPro to put it in the position you want. You can do the same thing with RAM mounts. Now, they're not that expensive. You can get them directly from the website. You can also get them from a variety of third-party websites, and they're actually a lot cheaper if you go through other places. I got mine through expressmounts.com. Definitely saved about 20% over getting them directly from rammounts.com. So check those out, but you can play around and design your own system. So let's go ahead and go out and go through the assembly of this guy, and I'll show you where I'm going to be putting my phone on the bike. Here we have the clutch reservoir. This is where we're going to be installing the base plate. Now, word of caution, if you're working around a beautiful vehicle, especially with metal painted parts, take a little care, just cover stuff up. Alright? Shit happens. I'm not a klutz, but you know what? We're dealing with metal screws and a screwdriver and wrenches and big metal parts, so just don't chance it. That being said, what we need for this is a Phillips screwdriver to remove the two stock screws. We need a 4mm Allen wrench. This is for the supplied longer screws because we're adding a little bit of height to the plate. And of course the appropriate screws themselves. I need to match these up after I remove these because they give you different thread pitches and lengths. So we'll see which ones it needs. The only thing you have to buy separately is some anti-seize. Now if you do your own brake jobs, you already have some. Good to go there. That is going to be applied to the new screws. It's very important that you treat fasteners properly when you're doing any kind of maintenance like this or mechanical work. Some are going to require anti-seize. More often they're going to require Loctite, usually blue, but sometimes red. Know the difference. Red is very permanent in comparison to blue. And then some dry. Check your service manual if you're doing any kind of work and you're not sure. Also, pay attention to torque specs. All right, these are going into plastic. Actually, no. Plastic cover, but metal base, so it's an aluminum. It's still not going to take much torque. These little tiny screws, these are measured in inch pounds. Don't confuse them with foot pounds. Basically snug it up. All right, German torque specs, good and tight. So this is a 3-part system. Also, I'll give you a tip. I made the mistake, because this is my first time dealing with RAM mounts, I made the mistake of thinking this grip part was a female end. Stupid mistake. I just didn't pay attention to the picture. Of course I see it has a ball end. So I ordered my plate and I ordered my grip, and I thought this would go right onto the ball. So of course I got these and I'm like, oh crud. So it was either wait a week or spend an extra 20 bucks and buy one locally. So of course I bought one locally. But if I had have gotten this online, total cost for all 3 of these would have been 55 bucks shipped. That's not bad at all. Cost me 45 plus this guy here, or plus this guy here extra, you know. So this combination, if this is what you want to do, you're talking right around 55, 60 bucks. Now the other more popular solution than putting it up here, well, there's a couple actually. One is to put it on a mount that goes around a bar. Now I don't have circular bars. These are shaped, and there's also no freaking room here. But if you have cruiser bars or any other traditional type round bar, especially with more room on it than this, that don't have all the electronics, you can get a clamp mount basically. No screwing required, just a rubber protected clamp mount, and it will have the ball on it, and you can do as you please. Super easy, very inexpensive. Another real good option is they have a mount that replaces your nut here. So you can replace this, and it's basically this with a ball on it. That's an excellent place to mount your phone on a sport bike. Very popular there, because sport bikes don't have bars, they have clip-ons. So basically you just have your grips clipped onto your tubes down here. Well, this is your only option, basically. They also have suction cup mounts, so you can put it anywhere on a windshield, or if you have a cowling and you have a flat spot enough for it, or they have special shelves that you can put down there. Tons of stuff. All right, just look up on rammounts.com and you can engineer whatever solution is best for you. But here's what we're going to do. They give you these 3 different sets of mounting holes because there are different standards for these covers. Mine are 2 screws right in the center, and they are going to line up with the 2 screws right in the center. And it's the same size, so it's not overhanging. That's somewhat of an industry standard. So I just have to decide if I want the taper facing me or away from me. And, well, you know what? I'm not really going to see it because I'm going to have the phone in front of it, but I like the taper facing in front of me. Purely aesthetic, so that's what we're going to go with. Now, reading the instructions, really simple. It says remove these 2 screws. Do not remove the cover. Okay, we don't want to expose the fluid to the air, so we're going to leave the cover cinched down, not going to disturb that. Then we're going to remove these screws, and we have these little spacers, bushings, that go down in, and they take up the space filled by the tapered head of the stock screws. And then this is going to fit on top of the stock cover. Remember, we're not moving the cover. So we've got these to fill the gap, and then we're going to match the thread pitch and put in the longer new bolts and tighten them down with a little bit of anti-seize on the end. So let's go ahead and do that. Start by removing these OEM screws. Another tip, make sure that you are using the properly sized screwdriver for your task. It's very common. By the way, save your screws whenever you do this. I'm going to tape them together and put them with my motorcycle paperwork so I never lose them and can put it back to stock when I sell the bike. But it's very important that you always size your screwdrivers to your fasteners. That's a real easy way to strip out screw heads, especially when tightening or trying to loosen stuck screws. These come in different sizes and they're numbered. You want to make sure that the screwdriver is always filling the screw head as much as possible for the most contact and surface contact. That gets you the safest contact. Okay, so we've got our stock screws out. I am going to place in nylon spacers. These look a little tall. I'm going to verify here in the bag that they don't give me different sizes. No, that's it. Okay, so that's how they're supposed to be. It looked like in the picture that it sat up a little bit. Doesn't matter. As long as the screws are cinching it down, that's all that matters. Okay, so I've got the spacers placed in the holes there. I'm going to take a look at my OEM screws, and they're a lot shorter than I thought, so that means I need these short screws that the kit comes with. And let's see here. These look like them. I'm going to verify thread pitch is the same by matching up the screws together. And they are. Alright. So now we can see that with the ball mount on top of the spacers, we have that added height. And I want to make sure that this screw is going down the same height into the original mount as the original screws did, and they are. So now I'm going to apply just a little bit of anti-seize to each one of these new screws. Dabble do ya. Just a dabble do ya. One little dab right at the end. That's all you need. There we go. And that is simply to make sure that those never get stuck and rusted in there. Let me put the cap back on this. Done with this. I can get that away from the bike. Done with this OEM screw. Put these down here. Okay, make sure my spacers are sitting right. Put the ram mount on top. Make sure they don't move. Gently put the screws through. And grab my 4mm Allen wrench. I'm going to just hand tighten each one here, get them started. It's important that you screw these down evenly. Just go one at a time. You don't want to get one real tight and have the other completely loose. Just do them in stages. If you're not a real good judge of the torque, if you can't remember how tight they were when you got them off, err on the looser side. I can feel that spacer is just compressing a little bit into the taper where the original screw was, and now it's snugging up. That's it. Just hand tight. It's not going anywhere. Solid as a rock. All right, cool. So we got that part done. Next is the actual in-between piece. Now it's got a spring on one end and just a hand crank in the middle. It doesn't matter if you put one on the top or the bottom. Loosening or tightening the center screw will loosen both at the same time when everything's assembled. So all you have to decide is where do you want this thumb screw mounted. And I'm going to mount it facing me so it's not seen, because I'm going to have the phone covering it up. I don't want it seen on the front or the sides. So we just kind of clamp it there. Got this guy here. Put him in. Bada bing, bada boom. There we go. Tighten it up. Now, if I wanted this at a steeper angle, then I could rotate this 90 degrees because it has these cutouts here where these ball mounts can swivel completely down. And then obviously you just have this on the side instead of facing you. So it does afford absolutely any position for your device. You can put it anywhere you like. So if I want my phone closer to me, I can do this. If I want it way up high, I can do this. I can put it over to the side, whatever I want. I think, I don't know. You know, I'm going to have to ride with it a few times and figure out where exactly I want it. But I'm thinking maybe down low like this. That doesn't look too bad. It's real close. I don't want it obstructing anything, and that's absolutely perfect. Man, I love that. So let's go ahead and, well, I can't put my phone in there. You know what? Let me go grab another iPhone so you can see what it looks like. Stand by. So to put a phone in the Xgrip, you simply spread them apart, put your phone all the way down, center it in there, and it is good to go. I was skeptical about how sturdy this may keep your phone, but believe me, it is solid as a rock. They have a video of this on their website on a dirt bike, and it is going through the whoops, and it doesn't budge. These are very grippy rubber stems here, and it's solid. It can't fall in any direction. All right. it's good to go. Now this rotates a little bit just because of the X spreaders. I don't know if that could be tightened. I don't think there's any adjustment for it. So I'm just going to make sure that I put this in a position where it's perfectly vertical for me by the ball mount, and then it'll just stay there. That is perfect. That is going to work exactly like I wanted. Actually, I might move it up a little bit more, but I'll play with it once it's on the road. Let me show you how it looks from my perspective right now. Boom. Beautiful. Perfect position for viewing. It's not obstructing anything. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And then this is where my little USB comes in handy. This simply goes in there, right down into the power port. And then if I want to run TomTom or anything that's really going to suck down the battery, no problemo. Now this is my wife's phone, the phone that I'm filming on right now, and it's going in a black life-proof case, which makes it waterproof, even using the power plug, because it's got a little door on the bottom to stick the power plug in. And that way I can ride through the rain all I want. So there you go. There is your how-to of how to get a RAM mount on your bike. Don't forget, you can visit their site and make any kind of combination you want, whether it's up on here, whether it's directly on the bar, whether it's on the center nut, whether or not you want to use this universal X-type or get the dedicated holder to whatever device you're mounting, you can do that. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to visit the site often. Tell any other moto vloggers about the site, and they are more than welcome to get on board. Totally free. Give me a subscription. Tell your friends. Give me a thumbs up. Tell me what you think. See ya.